I was trying to think of a joke about my attempts to subfumigate an NFT on an auspicious astrological election before minting it. On July 22nd, the sun enters Leo. So the sun is strong in Leo. Leo is about the strength of being yourself, or being able to emit an image that is true and authentic according to what's inside. When you look at the sun, what you see is what you get. It's a big ball of fire. There's not really, I'm sure the sun has mysteries, but you can also see part 1 of my free course on how to read your own chart, which is available by subscribing to my newsletter. My newsletter is good. It's not like a boring commercial thing. Behold, Leo season. The word behold is interesting because the root comes from a term meaning to fix or hold, and in other languages it has to do with actually possessing and keeping and holding, and the association with viewing is apparently unique to English. But there's a fixity in the term behold. It's like to view something and to fix it. To view something and have that inform your impression. An impression also pertains to fixity in a way. The sun, the light that emits, and the concept of being viewed authentically. Leo is a fixed sign, so it's like maintaining an authentic identity. July 28th is the dark moon in Leo. The very beginning of Leo, it occurs around 5 degrees of Leo. The very beginning of Leo, all of Leo pertains to performance in one way or another. However, the first phase of Leo is ruled by Saturn, and it can have a lot more to do with being judged. The moon is a body that receives the light of the sun. It's characterized by its reception of the light of the sun. And with the dark moon in Leo, it's almost as if the spotlight turns off and you have some time behind the scenes to shed old identities and obtain new ones. Or one or the other, whatever is important in your life right now. On the same day of the dark moon, Jupiter stations retrograde. So everything, all of the boons and advances offered by Jupiter since the conjunction with the sun in early March. So if you've experienced any luck or advances that feel lucky, especially if you're a Jupiter native, like if your sun, moon, or rising are ruled by Jupiter, or anything really, between Jupiter's conjunction with the sun in early March and now, Jupiter will be retrograde between July 28th and late November. Jupiter's goodness is being pulled back, and it's a time to make good on the advances and blessings that you have. Cultivate your gratitude practice so that you might receive some form of recognition in between the time Jupiter stations direct in late November and its subsequent conjunction with the sun to close out the cycle. But the sun's time in Leo, especially until August 20th, basically the entire time the sun is in Leo, it will be opposed by Saturn and squared by Mars and Taurus. So it's a frustrating time for being ourselves, for standing up for ourselves, for claiming our authenticity. Authority is being challenged, and your authenticity is being challenged by authority, or also jerks with Mars and Taurus. Mars and Taurus is frustrating. Taurus is a steady sign. It's about things that happen regularly. And so with Mars and Taurus, rhythmic, regular stuff is the side of conflict. Mars is a planet of action. When you have the planet of action and changing things, insisting on a different situation in the sign of rhythmic, gentle, enjoyable steadiness, you're going to have a problem. Something's got to give. Either you get frustrated because you can't take action, or action is taken that is stubborn in its insistence to disrupt what usually happens with regularity. It's the planet of action and changing things in the sign of steadiness. So you can see a natural tension there. I just always think of like headaches. Think constipation, Mars and Taurus. Thing that wants to go, but it can't. That's also kind of a Mars Saturn signature. Anyway, Mars in the stubborn earth sign. The stout, strong, steady, reliable, beautiful earth sign. With Mars and Taurus, it's kind of about like how to do things slowly. Like the way is to do it slowly and to put that power into like more of a slow burn instead of trying to do it so fast, trying to do it so fast that you break something. It's like trying to like burn a whole log at once. It's possible, but it's really hard, and it's maybe not going to be fun or fast. And it's also like make sure you have enough time to do stuff with Mars and Taurus, because if you don't have enough time, that's when things can break. So speaking of Mars in Taurus, just after the dark moon, so when the moon is waxing, starting a new situation, the North Node conjoins Uranus on July 31st, and on August 1st, the next day, Mars conjoins the North Node and Mars conjoins Uranus. So this is frustrated Mars in Taurus with Uranus conjoining the North Node. So there's like Uranus, rebellion, crazy technology, conjoined with the North Node, which is like muchness or confusion, or it's the kind of muchness that is like suspicious. It's like turning the amp all the way up. Like you can turn it up really loud, but it's not really designed to do that. So it's like unsustainable growth or a lot. So a whole lot of Uranus. So if you think of everything I just said about Mars and Taurus and then combine it with Uranus in Taurus, here to shake the earth and break things, that surprise things, like how the Hoover Dam exploded. I don't know how that happened. That's a very good representation of Mars and Taurus conjunct Uranus, is a surprise explosion. With Uranus, it could be a rebellion against restrictions or against things that are supposed to happen with regularity. And all of this is squaring Saturn still by sign, and now squaring the sun. So it's a lot. It's things crashing, like different things the sun is trying to maintain in an identity self way. Saturn is trying to maintain in a what's good for the collective, new rules way, what we need to do in the future way. And Uranus in Taurus and Mars in Taurus are disrupting the seasonal, enjoyable cycles of regularity that feel good for the earth and our bodies. They're here to disrupt that, whether that's disrupting what we've been doing for the past while with something more material and traditional and basic, or cryptocurrency, which is now looking like all money becoming tokenized, like all money becoming behavioral tokens. Instead of money you can spend on whatever, you can spend it on only certain things according to your privileges. That's another good example. So it could be like rebellion against new rules, or something's just so clogged up that it explodes. Take care and don't get too frustrated. Whatever happens with the Mars-Uranus-Taurus thing, whatever's going on now with Mars and Taurus is going to inform the next 6 months with Mars in Gemini, which is a very like information internet shutdown type of signature. Informational fighting. I've come here for an argument. It is definitely an energy of argument throughout the rest of the year. And whatever happens this week, within the next 2 weeks, whatever has happened like within the past couple of weeks and the next couple of weeks, moving into late August, informs the next 6 months.